Adobe announced earlier today that Shockwave will be discontinued, and the Shockwave Player for Windows will no longer be available to download after April 9. This news follows Adobe's decision until and Flash support in 2020, pushing developers to win their projects from the plugin and Maven to newer tech, in order to maintain support for their browser-based games. Similar to Flash, Shockwave supported many browser-based games hosted on the Internet in the early 2000s. It's likely that the discontinuation of Shockwave support may break older web games and make them unplayable. As technologies evolve and the use of mobile devices has grown, interactive content has moved to platforms such as HTML5 Canvas, and WebGL and usage of Shockwave has declined, Adobe said. The company went on to explain that enterprise customers will continue receiving support until their contracts expire in 2022. Slack, a popular team-based communication tool in tech spaces, has issued a wave of sudden bans to users on servers it says have ties to countries sanctioned by the United States. The deactivations themselves were sudden and instantaneous, meaning that any devs doomed by Slack to originate from Cuba, Iran, North Korea, Syria, and the Crimea region of Ukraine, even erroneously, will have lost access to any data or information they previously stored in Slack, along with losing access to communications with team members. Already, many people have taken to social media to speak out against the unannounced sweeping account closures, with some saying that the deactivations are unnecessary under United States sanctions or that their accounts were banned despite not residing in a sanctioned country, according to The Verge. Slack chalks the sudden ban wave up to an update to the system it uses to apply geolocation data based on IP addresses. However, numerous individuals on Twitter have rallied under the hashtag #SlackBan to point out that they had their accounts shut down in a variety of other circumstances, such as having visited Iran on holiday years prior or despite currently working or studying in a non-sanctioned country like the United States, Canada, or United Kingdom. Those deemed to be in violation of Slack's region-based access policies received an email notifying them that Slack had identified your Team account as originating from one of these countries, and that the account would be closed immediately as a result. In many cases, this leads to individuals being cut off from employers and co-workers, and results in the loss of whatever data or communications they do stored in or sent over Slack. In the past, Westworld Mobile has shut down just 2 weeks after developer Behavior Interactive and publisher Warner Brothers settled a lawsuit brought against it by Bethesda. Bethesda initially accused both companies of copyright infringement and misappropriation of trade secrets back in June, after noticing more than a few similarities between Westworld Mobile and Fallout Shelter. The Fallout developer subsequently took legal action and said that Westworld Mobile creators had outright copied the same or highly similar game design, art style, animations, features, and other gameplay elements as Fallout Shelter. Although Warner Brothers and Behavior said the accusations against them were completely baseless, they eventually settled the lawsuit after reaching an unknown agreement with Bethesda. Now, around 2 weeks after that agreement was brokered, Warner Brothers has put the title from sale and switched the lights off for good. We are sorry to see the Westworld mobile game go, and had an incredible time creating the content and events for players to enjoy, reads a message posted on Twitter. We deeply appreciate our community's enthusiasm and participation in the game. Pick Twitter. Y7NS7 Castle Code. There's a healthy competitive scene around the up to 10-player competitive arcade game Killer Queen. And now the game's creators are coming to THEGA Meet Developers Conference next month to share how they pulled it off. So come out and catch Funktronic Club's producer, Alan Dewey and GSDC community, MANAGEMENTSUMMITTALK on how Killer Queen built an sports scene on an indie budget, in which he will show you how he approaches building community by aggressively engaging with its community and enabling its core fans to express themselves, from community outreach and participation, to how merchandise is handled, to even game design and system features. A variety of different aspects outcave successfully, and not so successfully, help Adobe foster a competitive national scene for an indie game. This is a great talk to see if you love Killer Queen, but it's also packed with useful takeaways for developers who are creating competitive games and want to build a community around them, as well as community managers who are looking at ways to build communities around competitive games. Do not miss out. Find more details on this talk and many more over ONTHEGDC 2019 session scheduler. There you can begin to lay out your GD 2019, which takes place March 18th through the 22 at the newly renovated Moscone Center in San Francisco. Bring your team to GD, register a group of 10 or more and save 10% on conference passes. Learn more. For more details ONTDC 2019 visit the show's official website, or subscribe to regular updates via Facebook, Twitter, OS. Gamasutra and GD are sibling organizations under parent company Informa. I have always been interested in telling stories about connection to land, to a person, to a thing, even to a point in time, says Katie Stacks of the Flashbox Collective, a group promoting the exploration of intimacy, love, and sex in games. Exploring connection is the focus of so many areas of creativity, especially film, art, and music, but much less so video games. Why is that? I ask myself. Games possess a unique power to place the player into a different headspace, having them become the role of another for a time. There is a special power to empathize in this, tasking the player with feeling what that other person is going through as they go through their actions and live out their lives. Like a form of acting, the player becomes this other avatar and exists as them for a time, and in this action, they are brought into intimate connection with the thoughts and feelings that come from living these lives. This unique ability to live and empathize with, more so than books or movies, or other forms of passive media, can make the player truly feel what the characters are going through. Steps work with the Flashbox Collective, as well as their annual Heartbeat Symposium 3-day event, where they seek to bring developers together for days of game jams and speakers from various disciplines working in love and intimacy looks to capture and explore that connection. I think there is something powerful about the perspective opportunities you have in video games. Says Steps. You can play with how inside the character a player is, give them agency and put them in the shoes of someone different from themselves. There is so much opportunity to capture the nuance, silliness, fun, excitement, and heartbreak through games. And I want to explore how more games could contain those moments. Games, through their ability to connect a person to another life, they have been underutilized for years in placing players in more realistic, emotional experiences. But that has begun to change. Still, why explore these kinds of connections? Because how long? It's fun. Stack sauce, sex, romance, love. These are universal desires for everyone. Games can also allow us to play, observe and process some pretty complicated issues, or partake in light-hearted fantasy for fun. It's such a diverse topic that there are many reasons to explore it. Games in particular are an interesting way to explore these topics, because you can engage more senses than reading a film. You can see, you can hear, you can feel and touch, and in some cases, with old controllers, you can also taste. Stacks continuous. That's a bit more senses being engaged than with music, art film. How can we manipulate these senses to create a new experience for these stories? That's what I want to know. It's a largely intact part of what games are uniquely capable of, and for Stacks, something that offers some interesting opportunities to explore our emotions and feelings on challenging issues in a space outside of the self. They allow for a safe self-reflection on actions we might not otherwise experience or be afraid to experience, allowing us to learn about ourselves through these shared digital experiences. Stacks has explored these themes in games as well. My own work often focuses on nostalgia in a light-hearted way. The Blushbox Collective is my side project, so I generally do not make these games for commercial purposes. I see it more like drawing or painting as a hobby. So, having said that, I have worked on a range of games, from the casual Pudding Boyfriend, a game about dating footboys, Calls on to Boyfriend was my fave, to other games such as Also,